Hello and welcome to yet another educational video by yours truly, Newyorksteelo, where today we're going to go deeper into the possibilities of a deep sand bed. What I'm going to show you here today, guys, you will not be able to see it anywhere. And we're going to be discussing in this particular video, not only are we going to be discussing the deep sand bed maintenance, I'm also going to be discussing hydrogen sulfide. What is it that forms in the front of the glass here when it comes to deep sand bed, why it forms, and I'm going to be giving you an illustration on how you can clean this area here in the front. And not only that, it's not going to stop there with this particular video. I am actually going to purposefully form hydrogen sulfide within this 90-gallon system's deep sand bed just to show you the potential of the life within the deep sand bed and how it is going to eliminate that hydrogen sulfide. Now, last but not least, towards the end of the video, we're also going to be covering the hot topic of what animals you should completely avoid adding to your system. This is very important, and I haven't covered this in my previous deep sand bed videos, but in this one here, I'm going to give you a quick list of some of the animals that you absolutely want to make sure that you don't add to this system. Some of these animals are going to prey on the very life needed to keep the deep sand bed working properly. And so we're going to start quickly here. Let me say this first. This particular video in itself is going to take several weeks to make, but it's going to come together into one video. So by the time you're watching this first segment, you're probably going to be able to watch the video till the very end. I'm going to be disturbing the deep sand bed, and a few days later, I'm going to show you what happens to the deep sand bed. A couple of days further down the line, we're going to film again, and I'm going to show you the hydrogen sulfide that is going to form in the deep sand bed. And towards the end of the video, I'm going to show you the end results. So do know that this video is going to take some time, but it's going to come together into one video. Hope you guys really enjoy it because there's a lot of information in here. Now we're going to start with what is it that forms within the deep sand bed, and we can see that clearly here. We're going to take a closer look, and if we zoom in to the deep sand bed, you're going to see lots of caves and crevices that form here. But that's not only what it is. It's actually algae growing in the front of the glass. But there's a lot of misconceptions here when it comes to this. There really is. And I say that simply because I've heard and read in some places that some people think that what grows here in the front of the glass is rotting, decomposing matter. This is actually untrue, guys. It really is. There's a lot of false information out there. What grows here in the front of the glass is basically algae. That's all it is. It's algae. There is no rotting, decomposing matter within the deep sand bed. If there was rotting, decomposing matter, hydrogen sulfide spots would form. And we're going to get into that a little later in the video. But why is it that algae forms in this area, in the front of the deep sand bed? It's actually quite simple. Light reflects. Wherever light is, there's algae going to grow. Now the light is basically intense enough to reflect through the front of the glass and form this cyanobacteria growing there, because what you're looking at in the front of the glass is in fact cyanobacteria. Now, why does this algae grow there? There's a simple answer to that, and it's really not that difficult to understand. Cyanobacteria thrives in areas of low oxygen, low pH. It's not the same as the oxygenated water that you're looking at here at the main display. And so if I were to disturb the deep sand bed and release some of this cyanobacteria, which I've done so in the past several times, and it's one of the reasons why sometimes when you look at my videos, my deep sand bed looks very clean, if I were to disturb it, it's not going to spread into other areas of the tank because the water on the top, it's not letting it. There's too much oxygen. There's lots of water movement preventing that cyano. However, it's a safe haven area in the front of the glass, in front of the deep sand bed for the algae to grow there. And that's the only reason why cyanobacteria really grows there. And you know, the more you feed the system, the more cyano is going to actually try to thrive. And because it cannot thrive in your main display, you know, it's gonna set in this area here. Now there's a lot of misconceptions. A lot of people out there state that, you know, all this area here, the cyano growing, it's actually dead decomposing matter. That is not the case, and I'm going to go ahead and prove that to you. Now what we're gonna do here is, first of all, I want you guys to understand that there's no maintenance needed to keep a deep sand bed. You don't have to siphon the deep sand bed. You don't have to disturb it. What I'm gonna show you here today, I don't recommend you to do unless, and I repeat myself, and a lot of the times in my videos, you're gonna hear me repeat myself. This is education, guys. I wanna make sure that the message is instilled into your brains and that you understand where I'm coming from. I do not, and I repeat myself, recommend you to do this, and you will soon see why. But I am gonna show you that experimentation can take it one step further here. I'm gonna show you what's the possibilities of a deep sand bed, and it's just amazing to me because, you know, I've been doing this for many years now, and what you're gonna see here, you're not gonna be able to see anywhere. So we're going to go ahead and disturb. We're gonna edit the video first, and I'm gonna show you what the deep sand bed looks like beneath the tank. It's an open stand here, and I'm gonna show you how clean it is, and then we're gonna zoom in to this deep sand bed, and I'm gonna show you how I disturb it. I'm going to manually disturb this deep sand bed. So stay with us, guys. We will be right back. Okay, so we're quickly back here. Let me just check the camera to see if it's recording. Yes. Now here, you're looking at the bottom of my 90-gallon system, and you're gonna see that the deep sand bed is completely clean as if you added it yesterday. And this is all entirely due to the life within that deep sand bed. The only thing you're going to really see here is, you know, salt creep splashing up, maybe some of the worm activity down there at the bottom, and you could probably see it. Now here, I wanted to briefly cover the overflow box here, and you're going to see a different color when it comes to the overflow box there. Now it's important to state, and you know, that this in itself is not what you want to see in your overflow box, and this is one of the main reasons why I released that video titled Must Do Reef Aquarium Maintenance. Every 6 months you should clean up your overflow box, and this is actually detritus settling there, and you can see it. It's a dark tan color, but everything else in the deep sand bed is as clean as if I added it yesterday. And so we're gonna move on here to the other segment of the video where I'm going to be disturbing the deep sand bed. We will be right back. Okay, so now that you guys got a quick glimpse of the bottom of the deep sand bed, as clean as it is, now we're going to go ahead and disturb the front of it here in order to release some of this cyanobacteria growing there. Now keep this in mind. If you do this, you are going to be killing some of the life, and you're going to be trapping some of the life in the top areas down below, and you're going to be crushing some of the life as you do this, and so it is going to eventually result in hydrogen sulfide spots. The death within the deep sand bed is going to release, you know, the decomposition matter, and it's going to get trapped in there, and it's going to result in hydrogen sulfide. So I highly recommend you not to do this unless you know what you're doing. And I repeat myself again, guys, you know, it's important for you guys to understand that this video in itself was taken to illustrate to you guys and prove to you the potential of the deep sand bed. Despite forming hydrogen sulfide, it is going to be removing that hydrogen sulfide. So if you go back to my video titled How to Set Up a Saltwater Aquarium Deep Sand Bed, and you do not see the life present that I illustrate in that video, I highly recommend you not to do this. Keep in mind also that this cyanobacteria that's growing there is actually quite beneficial. It is. It's going to be consuming a lot of what the deep sand bed is processing, and it's also going to be consuming a lot of what the main entire display water volume is processing. So if you don't like the look of it, You know, you can wait a year until the deep sand bed is mature enough for you to disturb it. Now, what we're going to be using to disturb the deep sand bed is this item here. Now, this is an algae scraper, and my yellow tang here is quite interested in everything that I do. Get out of here. Look, he's not even afraid of me. But we're not going to be using this bladed area here. And there's a reason why. This bladed area is simply going to either scratch your tank, and you don't want to do that, or it is going to further kill more life than necessary. Instead, what we're going to do is that we're going to use the opposite end, which is the rubbery grip area here, to disturb it. Now we're going to move up to disturb the deep sand bed, and I'm going to illustrate to you guys how easy it is to do this. Now, it's important to also go in one direction only. You will see the rubbery area here, and I'm going to basically push down deep into this rubbery area and just release the cyano. And you can see it there. You can go as deep as you want, and you can also see and witness that you can push this cyano just out of the way. It's just cyanobacteria. Other algae would grow here in its stead. Macroalgae would grow. The problem is that macroalgae does not thrive in low oxygenated areas, which is the reason why cyano is the main growth within this deep sand bed. So you can see here that I'm disturbing the deep sand bed, and it's as clean as if it was the day that I added it. This is all due to the life, guys. So we're going deeper here, and we are disturbing this area, releasing that. You can see the gas bubbles coming up, and now you're starting to see a clear and clean deep sand bed. Now, as you do this, you will be killing some of the life. So it's important to understand that. It's important also to go in one direction only. Continue to do this all the way to the opposite end of the tank, and then you can go back and just kind of make it back a deep sand bed here. Clowns, everybody here is happy as can be. Now, I'm not going to show you, the cleaning of the entire deep sand bed. But it's common sense. If you continue to point yourself in that direction, you will get to the end of it, and you're going to end up with a clean sand bed look. Now, we're going to go ahead and edit the video once more. We're going to be filming within a few days from now, and I'm going to show you how some of the life that you trapped beneath it is going to result in hydrogen sulfide. But we're also going to go further and record a few weeks later where the hydrogen sulfide itself is going to be completely removed and released from the deep sand bed via the critters and the life. So it's very important. Stick around, guys. We will be right back. Okay, so I quickly decided to add this small little segment just to illustrate to you guys that about 5 minutes after recording the last segment, I continued on to clean the deep sand bed, and we're not clean it, but release some of what was growing in the front of the deep sand bed in one direction. And so the result is what you're looking at here. The tank is gonna look a bit cloudy for a few hours, and keep in mind here, guys, I'm doing this despite the fact that the tank is full of SPS corals. And this deep sand bed is 1 year and 3 months old, okay? So I want you guys to keep that in mind. Now we're going to once again edit the video, and we're going to start filming different segments. Possibly by the day after tomorrow, I'm going to film a little bit. You're going to start seeing some hydrogen sulfide spots forming in the deep sand bed. Hope you guys have enjoyed the video so far. Please continue on to the end, and you will see the conclusion. And this is just awesome. This is one of the reasons why I absolutely love YouTube. I mean, you're not going to just read it somewhere. You're going to be able to see it. So we will be right back. Don't go anywhere, guys. Okay, so now that we're back here, and this is actually the same day in which I disrupted the deep sand bed, I went out the house, I came back, and you can see that the tank is clearer now. It's no longer has that silt that was disturbed from the deep sand bed, but I can already witness the activity going on within the deep sand bed. We're gonna take a closer look. However, I've decided to do something different here. Because there's going to be so much information to cover in this particular video. If I were to take the other parts and mesh them together with this one, we're talking about a 25-minute video here. So I'm going to divide the videos. I'm going to upload this one today, and within a week and a half to 2 weeks, as I film the different segments, I'm going to be uploading a part 2. So absolutely stick around, guys. Make sure that you come back for part 2. Now let's take a quick look here at some of the life that is already evident in this deep sand bed. Let's see if I can position myself here well. See if we can zoom in here. Now you're already starting to look at the streaks occurring within the deep sand bed. Let me see if I can zoom in just a tad more. And you know, this is the life evident, present within a fully established deep sand bed here. And we're gonna move over to the other sections here so that you can take a look at some of the activity. There's tunnels being created already here. Now keep in mind, a lot of death was actually, or a lot of critters were killed during the movement of this deep sand bed, during the disturbance of it. And you know, there will be hydrogen sulfide spots forming here. Let's take a look over on this side here, and you will see the activity is also present on this side. Now I hope you guys have enjoyed this first part of the video. Hope you guys really do learn something here. I highly encourage you not to miss part 2. Rate my videos, give it a thumbs up. If I see a lot of thumbs up, I'm gonna rush the video even faster, guys, so you guys can take a look at it. But I'm glad to be a part of the hobby, glad to be able to show you this. Love YouTube with a passion, just for the ability to be able to show you something and not have you just read up on it. So with that said, this is Newyorksteelo signing out. Stay tuned for part 2. Peace.